So this institute really is about understanding better the immune system of young people, which is usually immature. And if you want to have, better diagnosis, treatment, and even prevent diseases for these young people, we need to invest more biomedical research, and that's basically our aspiration.
So, understanding the immune system of young people, what does it mean exactly? What will the Institute be doing?
In fact, the Institute wants to integrate different sorts of expertise. Immunology, because we call it immune engineering, but also molecular and cellular engineering. Genomics, artificial intelligence is another big area of tools that will be used, and that will enable scientists, in fact, to study the immune responses of young people to an unprecedented level of detail. I give you an example. You can then see how individual cells in young people react to pathogens, for example, or, and that's important, how genetic diversity across young people in the world. This differs from Africa to Asia and Asia to Latin America, influences immune responses in young people. It's not all the same for all young people in the world. They have different immune responses to the different pathogens and challenges our body faces.
To what extent does the economic background of children affect their immune response, their immune system as a whole?
Yes, of course. I mean, you know, and I know there is a chain of reaction. If you live in rather difficult socioeconomic circumstances, that has a repercussion on your nutrition. That has a repercussion on your brain development. Do you have opportunities for education, for learning? All of that, of course, has an influence on our physical and mental health and our immune responses, of course. So there are very important interlinkages between these different factors, which we need to better understand. And they play differently because in every society we have richer and less rich people.
There's a plan to invest 900 million Swiss francs from the foundation Botnar. How is it going to be allocated?
The first important thing is that we, as a Fondation Botnar, have created in the first place an independent foundation that actually will manage the institute. So this institute, because it's a research institute, will not be dependent on us. We will not determine the research agenda, but its own foundation will manage the institute. So we are to provide, as you say, the 900 million Swiss francs are to be provided over 15 years. So basically each year we will provide an amount of money. And of course, a bulk will go to, research groups and research work. So they're about now to recruit internationally, globally research groups. But of course, important parts will also go into clinical trials, the research activities in the different parts of the world, including Africa.
Fondation Botnar has been around for quite a while. Talk to us about its mission and some of what it has been able to accomplish.
We as a foundation, we work with and for young people between 10 and 24 years of age to improve their well-being. And our focus is, if you want, we want to provide more enabling conditions for their well-being. So this is to say, let's take the example of mental health with one of our areas, is to say, well, it's not just to improve the lives of 100 children with their mental health, but for example, how can we structurally improve the relationship with teachers, their parents, caretakers, where we know this has an immense influence on their mental health or whether they develop a mental health disorder. So we've been around since 2017. The focus is young people because we know they're the important base for our societies already today, but certainly tomorrow. So this is why we place emphasis on that. And you've heard the medical research. The other big area we are focusing, we as a fondation, is really addressing challenges of young people they face in the urban and digital space. Why is that? We know increasingly young people live in urban spaces around the world. Africa is a very good example, but also they're increasingly active in the digital space. They learn, they play, they interact in the digital place. And that comes with opportunities for education, for employment, for your health, but also it comes with challenges. We know what, the harm that digital technologies and systems can also do to young people. If we think about online bullying or, discrimination, for example, this happens in the digital space. So we want to address those opportunities and challenges for young people in the urban and the digital space.